last two evenings we discussed about the very basic understanding and practice of ethics. And I think today we will little bit talk about the three positive and negative deeds of the mind, which is also connected with emotions a little bit, and then we a little bit talk about the emotions, because ethics is also in a big way very much connected with emotions. Now, these three, what we call the negative deeds of the mind. The first is, that we wish harm or ill to the people. It's very much connected with anger or hatred, that we feel that we feel bad against somebody. We feel we would be happy if something bad happens to somebody. And that's the first of the three negative feelings or negative thoughts, which doesn't necessarily have to be anger, but very much connected with anger and hatred. And so this is the first one. That's the negative. So the positive is the opposite of that, which is we wish well. We wish something good happens to the people. If something good happens to the people, we will be happy. We will rejoice. I'm very, I appreciate if something happens good to the people. I want something good happen to the people. I wish them good heart, positive thoughts, kindness, compassion, whatever you call it. And that's the first one. The second negative actions of the mind is what we call napsem, that it's connected with with greed or with some kind of attachment. That if I see something that somebody has, then I want to have it. I wish that this person didn't have it. I wish that I had it. And I have a thought of trying how to get that from this person. So all this, stealing and robbing and all these things start with this thought of, if somebody has it, then how should I get it from him? I want it. I would like to have it, and not this person. So this is, or if something, somebody has some, it's also part of like what we call envy, that somebody has something nice, or somebody achieves something good, or somebody, is having lots of positive things, and then you are unhappy. You are unhappy that somebody is successful, somebody is famous, somebody has some positive things or qualities or whatever. So that's also part of that. So this, and the opposite is also compassion, but also generosity, also rejoicing, also compassion, kindness, because I feel happy, I feel good, I rejoice if somebody has something, somebody achieves something, somebody is successful, or somebody has something nice. So I feel genuinely joyful about that. So these two things is the actions of the mind, and it's very important that these two actions of the mind we watch. We try to be mindful about what the whole. This is, I think, important. The whole kind of a training on how to maintain our ethics, how to maintain the positive ethics, is to watch first our mind and thoughts. Little bit aware what's happening, because everything starts there, a thought. If a positive thought, if something happens in your mind and then you are aware of that, and then if it's a positive, if you are aware that this is a positive thought, then you can say, oh, that's nice, it's a positive thought, I rejoice at it. Then you can follow that. And if it is a negative thought, or negative, kind of mental activity, then you say, okay, this is not good, because if I act on that, or if I keep this is neither good for me, this is nor good for others. And the more I hold on to this thought, or if I allow this kind of thoughts to develop, to become stronger, then I will do something that would be, harmful to myself or harmful to others. So therefore, I should let it go. If I can do that, usually, every thought, this is something very important. All of us has emotions, positive emotions, negative emotions. Maybe positive emotions less, negative emotions much more, and sometimes stronger. I say this very often, but I think there's really lots of truth in it. Negative emotions are very strong. When that negative emotion really becomes strong and really takes us over, it's extremely strong. Because like, if our emotion is really totally overpower us, then it could lead us to do things which we kind of never imagined that we could do. You know, if you're extremely angry, you could, you could kill somebody. Lots of people kill coming from there. Afterwards, most of them regret also. Or you could sometimes kill yourself. We have lots of factors like that I'm in a very strong negative emotion, very angry, and then, people do kill themselves. And also, so therefore, it's very, very strong. But it's in one way not strong, because it doesn't last that long. However strong that emotion is, if you allow a little bit of time, it changes. It changes. Sometimes in few minutes or even seconds, it changes. So when it is so short-living, then we cannot say it's that strong. It's a matter of, being patient, being mindful for few minutes. If there is very strong negative emotion, like, hatred and anger, I want to everything burn up or burn down or what, destroy everything, then you say, okay, this is a very bad negative emotion. It's very difficult, it's not good, but let me wait. I can burn it, but let me wait for a few minutes, 5 minutes, and then if you kind of allow yourself to breathe in, breathe out, or do something to wait 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, you see, do I want to burn everything? I think it's almost certain that you don't feel that. So therefore, this I think is extremely important to understand and use, because that's the most important way of dealing with this. If I'm able to do something, I'm about to do something that's negative, then you wait. I think I told this many times, but many times people come, when they are in a very difficult mental state or emotional state, they come and say, I don't see any light in the end of the tunnel. I'm so frustrated. I've lost everything. I don't want to live anymore. I want to die. I want to commit suicide. I always say, okay, if you want to commit suicide, who can stop you? Your life is your life. It's no use trying to argue with them, you should not do it. They will say, I should do it. And they will find more and more reasons to do it. I say, you can do it if you like. It's up to you. But what's the hurry? What's the hurry? First, do something that you wanted to do in life. maybe, maybe you wanted to visit India. Maybe you wanted to go to Mount Kailash. Maybe, you wanted to have a nice holiday in some of the nice beaches. Something, that you have been wanting to do. Maybe before you die, you do that. And then die, And I sometimes add this because, many times they say, but I have no money. But you wouldn't need any money after you die. So even if you have borrowed money, you can use your credit card, and over borrow like whatever. After you die, the bank cannot ask you to pay back. I don't go that far. That I think they understand. So therefore, you just do that. But I'm sure they change their mind even before they go there. But it's like that. And sometimes I've actually 3, 4, 5 times. People call me and says, I'm about to kill myself, I'm about to die, please, after I die, say some prayers. And then I try to engage them a little bit in talking to them. And after 5 minutes, sometimes they are laughing. Sometimes they're laughing and they've kind of given up the project of killing themselves at that time. It might come back afterwards, but a few times it's like that. So it's like that. The emotions, the duration of that, excitement of the emotion is so short. So this, I think, we really need to be very clear, because when we are in that emotion, we would feel as if this is forever, We would feel that this is forever. I can not ever, feel something different. But it changes. And it changes sometimes very quickly, So this, I think, something we need to remember. We really need to remember this. And that remembering thing, this is what we call mindfulness, actually. That's also meditation. Meditation, the main thing is mindfulness. But mindfulness is not only like, sitting down, and not only that, you just remember this is happening and this happening. Is it okay? Is it not? There's a story about in the Jataka story. There's this thing that I don't want to go into the whole long story, but there was 2 friends, and he was a very simple kind of guy, and he was very kind of a resolute person. He was very, so therefore the king gave him half the kingdom, and they became very good friends and then ruled the country together. And then one time the king was sleeping. They were kind of in the same room, and the king was sleeping very, very strongly. And this other man had a thought: I could kill this king. And if I can kill this king, and if I kill this king, I would become the only I will become the only ruler of this whole empire. So maybe I should do that. So when that kind of thought came very clearly, then he remembered. And then he woke up the king and said, well, I'm having this thought. I'm having this thought, or I just had this thought when you are sleeping, that I could kill you. And if I kill you, then I will become the only ruler of the whole empire. And when he said this, the king said, oh, that's very good. That's very good. I have no interest in ruling this country. If you want to rule this country, please, you rule the country. I always wanted to go away and, do my practices. Please take my kingdom. I'm going. And there was no need to kill the king, He got it just like that. And if he killed, maybe he would have been killed also, because there were lots of, lots of protectors and lots of things. And, if you killed the king, then, maybe you wouldn't even survive. But because of this mindfulness, he told the story, and the king was a bodhisattva, so he was not really attached to the kingdom anyway. So he said, okay, you rule. If you want to rule, that's very good. I really always want to go away and do my, other activities. So, things like that. Things like that. And the third thing, third negative activity of the mind is what is called as the wrong view. Now this wrong view, there are many different wrong views. Of course, from Buddhist point of view, it is said that the basis of all the samsaric state of mind comes from wrong view. That's another kind of wrong view. That's like not understanding who I am or what is the nature of myself. That kind of wrong view. Now this wrong view, when we are talking about the 10 non-virtues, is not that. It's much more simpler. Here it is about, wrong view is that if my understanding or my attitude is that whatever I do, if I do good things, it has no good effect. If I do bad things, it has no bad effect. My actions has no connection with what happens to me in future, or what its actions and its effects and my actions has no connection. I can do whatever bad things if people don't see, or something like that. It doesn't matter. However good I do, that would not make any difference. I have to be clever. I have to be. If I can deceive people, if I can cheat people, then I will be successful. This kind of thinking, this way of thinking, that's called the wrong view. If that kind of wrong view is there, then there is no ground for ethics. There is no ground for ethics, because why should I do positive things? Why should I refrain from doing negative things? Why should I not harm people? Why should I be, a good person? Why should I have, there's no ground. So this becomes actually the most crucial, important element, that to see the connection between my action, my body action, my speech action, and my mind action, and my own future. How these positive actions affect me and my future in a positive way or negative way. So this we need to reflect, because as I said, as I spend lots of time maybe talking about this, if I don't understand this, if I don't see the connection, then it becomes like a commandment. It's the commandment. It's given by somebody, maybe whether it's God or whether it's Buddha or whether it's a Lama or whether it's the government or something like that. So I just, it's just, so only unless they see me heaven, then they might punish me, but otherwise there's no effect. If I see the connection, my good actions, my positive actions, my negative actions, and how it affects me as a person, how it affects other people, and thereby through through their kind of effects, how it affects me, how it affects my kind of habitual tendencies, and all these things, if I can see clearly, this is something very important to reflect. Each of the things, each of the ethics that we discussed, we need to really think clearly and see that how that ethics is important, useful. It is affecting me and my society and my connection with me and other people and me now, and in how if I do those negative things, keep on doing those negative things, what kind of person I will become. If I keep on doing those positive things, what kind of person I will become. And this kind of things, if I see and understand, then I would understand. I would understand that yes, these positive actions are good for me, good for other people, good for me now, good for me in the long run. This will create a very positive personality for myself and its effects. And if I do the negative things and that becomes my way of being, that will be very bad for me and that will be not good for others. So this, if I say, that's the right view. Wrong view and right view is based on that, the effect of my actions, of body, speech and mind. How positive actions have positive result, how negative actions have negative result. If I see this, that's the right view. So therefore, I think I don't need to go through all the emotions one by one. I think there have been many discussions about them, so I think we don't need to be so specifically discussing them. But we usually talk about 3 or 5 kind of negative states of mind. First is confusion, Second is anger, hatred, this kind of emotions. Second is like too much greed, too much attachment, too much kind of clinging, too much wanting, that kind of emotion. Sometimes people don't understand this, that why should attachment be a problem? Because it's a good thing. I want something. I'm attached to something. I want more and more. Of course, it's good to have something good, and I should have this want. It's okay, that you wish to have some good things and things like that. That's okay. We all wish to have good things, and everybody wish to have good things, and that's okay. But when I'm too much doing this, like this is I must have, too much attached to things, or too much wanting, too much greed, then some people said like this. I think it is Mahatma Gandhi who said that this world, he said, has the resources to fulfill all the needs of all the human beings on this earth. But this world does not have the resource to fulfill the greed of even one person. The greed is like this. Greed is something unfulfilling whole. However much you have, you feel you don't have enough. And attachment is also like that. That I never have enough good things, or however much you are enjoying something, you are not enough. So therefore there's always a feeling of not enough, not having enough, or enjoying enough, or not, there's something leaking, something short of. So therefore, unhappiness. It's an unhappiness, and it brings lots of unhappiness, because it brings worries, lots of anxiety, and so therefore it is important that you kind of, and it's natural, as we know, everything changes. If you have something, sooner or later it will go. Our own youth, our own beauty, our own, everything. Our loved ones also, the whole world. And so therefore, it's not possible to keep on holding on to something, anything. So when that's the truth, that's the reality, then if we are too much attached, then it necessarily brings pain and suffering and problem. So therefore, we need to have that much wisdom that, whatever we have, even good things, it's temporary. So therefore, we should learn to love them, We should learn to enjoy them. We should learn to, make the best out of that situation. And then when it goes, let it go. If you do that, our life will be useful, our life will be happy, our life will be, the best way.
Mm-hmm.
And this, if we don't understand, then we are asking for problem, trouble, suffering for ourselves. And nobody wants that. So in the same way, all these negative emotions are like that. So therefore, understanding that, and then when those kind of emotions are arising, which is very common because we are used to, our most strongest addiction is our negative emotions. So therefore, when these things comes, we say, okay, it is like it arises, but it's okay. We have to, we don't need to kind of push away. Like, I should not have this too much. That way also you can't let go. You just have to relax. You just have to relax, and then let it go. And also good emotions, good, like kindness, compassion, all these good. If some good things come, it's not that you have to like too much. Oh yes, I have compassion. Yes, it's very good. Now I must keep it. You can't keep it. You can't keep anything. If you try to keep it, immediately goes. That's the way. So okay, very nice, but okay, it will go. Let it go. No problem. Sometimes people say, no compassion. Compassion. No compassion. What is this? That's too tiring, and that's also not necessary. So therefore, we have to be kind of stable. We need to be stable person. Like whatever comes, it's okay, and when it goes, it's okay. Don't have to be too much moved or too much affected by whatever comes. Just let it come and let it go. It's okay. You just be a little bit aware of what's happening, because otherwise something will come and it take over, and then you will do something really crazy, and then you get into so much trouble, and then you blame everybody. Sometimes people do that. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. So this is all I want to say, and I should not take too much of your time. And then I want to give some time for for discussion.
Mm-hmm.